Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be going over another unique item that we're kind of have to talk about all the unique items in the process, but it's called the Death Blow, or Overkill, a Death Blow weapon. The Overkill is a ancestral unique two-handed mace, and it's very nice if you're doing a Death Blow build, because it offers some pretty good bonuses, and let's go over those bonuses, shall we? So first off, they changed the implicit bonus in patch 1.5.0 to 350% damage to injured enemies, which is actually really kind of cool because, well, the entire purpose of this was to make sure that the monster died, and that really does kind of actually help because when you're trying to get those extra resets on the death blows cooldown, you kind of want to make sure that that happens. It also gives you 198 to 270 strength bonus, a 125 to 170% vulnerable bonus, which of course could help with various skills, but it's a really nice additive bonus as well. And on top of that, it also gives 342 to 450% physical damage. The additional 4 to 6 ranks of Death Blow itself, so that you can obviously beef that skill up and reduce the cooldown even more. And also the special effect, which is Death Blow creates a Shockwave, dealing 25 to 45% of its base damage to enemies. Enemies who die after this effect also reset Death Blow's cooldown. So if you're utilizing this item, you'll notice that Death Blow gains this just ability to do more than it did previously. So like as you can see, I got Death Blow, and it's on cooldown. But we can fix that, right? So we got the Third Blade. Third Blade converts Death Blow into a core skill and allows us to spam our abilities. So let's try this. So look at that. Now we can just use Death Blow whenever we want to, as long as we've got resource. That's actually pretty nice. Now, if we want more than that, like if we want to be able to grab the additional effects, let's grab the Death Blow Unique. And once we have the Death Blow Unique, then we start getting things like the additional like waves of damage, which are pretty darn cool. We can just start spamming this bad boy. And quite honestly, I think that with the addition of the Third Blade, which converts it into a core skill and makes it obviously cost a resource instead of having a cooldown, the Overkill weapon has definitely become a lot more powerful. There's a lot of ways you can potentially scale this to your advantage. Obviously, now that it's a core skill, there are tons of aspects that you can potentially use, like the accelerating aspect. You can utilize anything that had to do with the weapon mastery skills as well, because once you equip the Third Blade, you get both. So whether you're using Death Blow as in addition to a build or as the build itself, the Overkill Hammer does actually represent a very effective item to enhance Death Blow, giving it a huge Shockwave, which of course does additional damage to all the enemies behind the target, and that's not bad. It's really not bad, to be perfectly honest now. I think the Third Blade was a very fun addition to the game and is going to make for a lot of really interesting builds when it comes to Death Blow. Now, Death Blow in particular has some very interesting effects. Like, first off, it gets a huge bonus versus bosses. You can also go the direction where it'll grant you Berserking, or it will refund you 20 Fury as long as it damages at least one enemy. And since it costs, with the Third Blade equipped... since it costs 80 Fury with the Third Blade equipped, and you get 20 back every single time, that means that it costs 60 Fury each time you use it at that point if you go that direction. And I don't have any of that stuff equipped right now.
Mr. Goody Two Shoes, Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Ginger Evil Mentor here. Why bother farming when you can go to MMOEXP.com and simply purchase your items in gold? GGM would have you farm the items. What a pathetic being. Use code GEM Ginger Evil Mentor for 6% off your entire purchase. And don't tell Ginger Gaming Mentor that I was here.
And I was still able to pretty much keep it active all the time, which is kind of funny. I'm over here just like, That's right, and then we throw this on, and then we go. I've always wanted to make a Death Blow build, and quite honestly, the Overkill hammer was included in that because it's such a fun little hammer for the Deathblow ability. And ever since Third Blade has been added into the game, honestly, I think that the two go together very well to make a very powerful build. In fact, I've seen some people in our kinship, like Leon, making a extremely powerful power kill build, and he's just spamming overkill everywhere he possibly can. Looks absolutely amazing, and I'm jealous. The special flavor text on this is the malformed snake creatures that live in the swamps are not content with simply killing their prey. They seem to take a malicious pleasure from inflicting as much suffering as possible before death. Another interesting thing to keep in mind when you're using Third Blade is that because it is a weapon mastery skill, and when Third Blade is equipped, it's also a core skill, you can also get permanent vulnerability with the exposed vulnerability passive. Because it says dealing direct damage with a weapon mastery skill causes your next core skill to make enemies vulnerable. If you put 3 points in this, Deathblow will also make the enemies vulnerable permanently, which is also very fun. There's so much to think about with the Overkill builds, with the Deathblow builds, and I think a lot of you guys have probably already thought about this too. Like in previous patches, there's been a couple Deathblow builds, but I think honestly, with the addition of the Third Blade, the Deathblow builds are going to be even more insane than they were ever before. If you want to get your hands on this particular item, you of course can. If you take a look at Diablo 4. Life, we have a nice little tool here that you can use at any time the target farming uniques, and you can pull up the Deathblow or Overkill, sorry, and it comes from Lord Zir. So if you want to farm a really nice Overkill, you're going to be hunting Lord Zir for that item. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining me for these videos. Be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. I'd be interested to hear what kind of crazy numbers you guys have gotten up to with your Deathblow builds and whether you think it's fun. Are you utilizing the Third Blade, and are you utilizing Overkill in your Deathblow build? Or do you not use Overkill for your Deathblow build with the Third Blade? That's also kind of an interesting thing that I hadn't considered as not using it. And the additional benefit of Overkill, it kind of seems too good not to use with Deathblow, though. I don't know. Anyway, as always, I'd appreciate you guys and gals watching, and as always, keep watching.